We as a society are experiencing this really, really tragic epidemic that everybody's talking about, but nobody actually has any idea how to solve and how to fix. And this is something that is near and dear to my heart because of the amount of people that, as a therapist, I work with and the detrimental impact that it is having on them, that it's having on the people that they love, and honestly that it's having on the world. What I'm talking about and what I'm going to be diving into today is the epidemic and the tragedy of how few people are actually happy and are actually fulfilled. I work with at least, or I see at least 60 clients a day doing one on one therapy. And hands down, the biggest thing that people say when they come see me is, Bianca, I want to be happy. My life has been fucking miserable up to this point, and I don't know what to do. I've tried everything. I have a job, I've been in relationships, I got the car, I went on the trip, I did all of these things, and nothing changed. I'm still unfulfilled. I'm still miserable. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And when people come and see me, they're usually at a breaking point. Something finally happened that it was the final nail in the coffin, or it was the straw that broke the camel's back, if you want a less graphic metaphor or analogy or whatever the hell the term is. But they come to me and they're like, Bianca, I'm at my breaking point. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know how the hell I got here. If you're watching this, you're probably at that too. You're probably sick and tired of feeling the way that you are, and you're just looking for answers. You're looking for someone to finally just give you the blueprint of, like, here's a step by step, here's exactly what you need to do, here's how you do it, go execute. That's what this video is going to be. I'm going to dive into the 5 things that actually, based on science, based on evidence, based on research, based on my own lived experience, because let's be honest, we know that science and data and shit, it works, and we know it's real, some of us, but it doesn't mean that we believe it's possible for us. And so when you can see somebody else who's been like, you guys, I've done it, it gives you that sense of like, oh, they did it. Like a real person that I know did it. Okay, maybe I can do it too. And so that's what I'm going to be diving into in this video today. What are the 5 things that actually contribute to a deeply meaningful life? So we think that a deeply meaningful life, a deeply fulfilling life, a happy life, if we want a different term, contentment, well being, peace, purpose, joy, fulfillment. I did a chat GPT search of different words for happiness because I'm sick of that freaking word. But these are the biggest like buzzwords that we'll see. It's fulfillment, joy, um, happiness. Happiness is the big one. I just want to be happy. If I had a freaking nickel for every time someone said, Bianca, I want to be happy, I swear to God, I'd be a millionaire because it's everywhere. Everyone says it, and I've said it. I want to be happy. I don't want to feel like shit. That's usually what I end up saying. I don't want to feel like shit. But that ultimately means I want to be happy. Most of us, actually all of us, we're fed this bullshit narrative of what happiness actually is. Happiness is a extremely attractive partner. That was one for me. Still haven't found it yet. I wonder why, because I'm optimizing for the wrong goddamn thing, or I was in the past. Happiness is a nice car. I had that. I had a brand new, this was in 2021. I had just bought a brand new Jeep Grand Cherokee. It was like my dream car. I got it. I shit you not, a week later, I was like, now what? I got this car that I said that I wanted. Now what? And I was so unhappy because it was like, I thought this was going to make me happy, and it didn't. We think that the next vacation is going to do it. My family and I, we took this beautiful trip to Puerto Rico last year. And even on the trip, none of us were like over the moon happy. Everyone was on their phone looking at what everybody else was doing. So it's like, what the hell was the point of going on the trip? We could have stayed home and did that. We're looking for all of these things outside of us, all of these external things that we've been sold this bullshit narrative on, that this is the key to happiness. And if you finally get this, your life is going to be amazing. When you have the six pack, when you have the car, when you have the partner, when you can have sex with whoever the hell you want, when pigs fly, when the grass turns blue and the sky turns yellow, like that's when we're going to be happy. How many of you have experienced that? Maybe not the grass turning blue, but you got something that you thought so deeply. You're like, this is the thing that's going to make me happy. This is the thing that when I finally get this thing, I'm going to feel good. And you get it. And then what? The dopamine depletes. Because the thing is, we think happiness is getting. And the data and the research, and actually, if you search dopamine, we think dopamine is like, ooh, I get something, bing, you feel good. That's actually not true. Dopamine is actually in pursuit. That's why when you get it, you thought it was going to give you this experience. It actually gave you this. And then the crash from that is insane. There's actually a term for it. For the life of me, I can't think of what the term is, but if you search it, I'm sure you'll find it. The crash after you get dopamine. There's a term for it. I'm going to find it. I'll put it in the description. But we believe that getting things and achieving things just for shits and giggles is going to make us happy. And that it's going to create sustainable happiness, meaning when I get this, everything is finally going to be better. Oh my God, the narrative that I ran for so freaking long that I'm so embarrassed about is when I finally have a boyfriend, or when I finally have a husband, or when I finally have a partner. I used to date women back in the day. When I finally get a girlfriend, or if I finally get a wife, that's when I'm going to be happy. My entire life is going to be over the moon, and I'm never going to feel sad anymore. And all of my problems are going to go away when someone finally loves me. How many of you have made stupid ass choices in that pursuit? Yeah, it's real fun. A 10 out of 10 recommend it. No. But we convince ourselves so fucking deeply of these narratives that this thing is gonna do it. And then you get the thing and you experience that massive dopamine crash. And then it's like, what the hell am I supposed to do now? I thought this was gonna be the thing. I thought this was going to fix it. I thought this was finally going to heal me and fix me, because you're some broken problem that needs to be fixed. It's not true. We think it, but it's not true. So what do you do instead? What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do when it feels like you've tried everything, you've done everything, you've read the books, you've listened to the personal development seminars, you've done everything that your friends told you, but none of it worked? What are you supposed to do? I'm now going to dive into the 5 things. There's a couple more, and I'm going to add a little more at the end, but these are the 5 primary things that if you can find a way to make these and create these over the long run in your life, because it's not just a one and done. There's no such thing as a one and done. If that were true, we'd all have sex once and we'd be the happiest people on earth. It's not the case. Or we'd eat once and we'd never feel hungry again, or we'd drink water once and we'd never be thirsty again. It's not true. It has to be something that we do over the span of our life. But none of us do this, and none of us can do this consistently. And that's why so many of us are unhappy and unfulfilled and aren't actually having the really amazing quality of life that we're actually looking for. So what do we do? You're like, Bianca, shut up and get to the point already. I'm getting there. You got to lay the scene first. You know what I mean? So what do? There's this psychologist. His name is Martin Seligman. The name doesn't matter, but I need to give credit where credit's due. He used to be I think CEO or the director of the American Psychological Association. The APA is like the really big foundation for psychologists and for therapists. The APA, the ACA, there's a few other ones. Doesn't matter. You don't give a shit. But he was a massive contributor to the field of psychology and the field of clinical counseling. And he actually cultivated this new branch of psychology called positive psychology. And I don't know how true this is. He said this in his book. I might be misquoting it. Don't quote me. I actually referenced this book in the last video that I did, but he made this book called Flourish. And in the book, he talks about positive psychology. And the thing I might be misquoting is he actually didn't like what positive psychology ended up becoming because people were just chasing happiness and they were correlating his work with just being happy. And he's like, that's not what I stand for. That's not what I'm talking about. But he changed the word happiness to flourishing. And what flourishing is it's the optimal human functioning. So it's basically living your life in the most aligned way that makes sure that you are a happy, fulfilled person in the long run. And what he talks about in that book is this concept called PERMA. PERMA is an acronym, PERMA. And that is the secret to a happy life. It is the secret to a fulfilling life. Happiness and fulfillment, they're two very different things. Happiness is in the moment. Happiness is a momentary emotion. It is a momentary feeling or sensation that doesn't last. And that's why it drives me nuts that people are like, I just want to be happy. And believe me, I get it. Because we have this narrative that happiness is everything. Happiness is not everything. Happiness is a fleeting emotion, just like any other emotion. You don't want to be happy, you want to be fulfilled. So I'm not going to use the word happiness anymore. I'm going to use the word fulfillment because fulfillment is this deep experience that it's this deeply felt experience over the long run that your life is in the right direction. You're the type of person, you're doing the type of things, you're having the type of experiences, you're having the type of relationships that actually matter. That is what we are actually all searching for. It's not happiness. We are not searching for happiness. We are searching for fulfillment. Fulfillment lasts longer. And you can feel happiness while being fulfilled. But if you chase happiness, you're basically chasing these momentary feelings that don't last. And then you feel like shit all of the time when you don't have it because it's like, I thought I was supposed to be happy all the time. Why aren't I happy? It's because you're not actually supposed to be. There's no such thing as being happy all the time. That's delusion. It's not real. But fulfillment is. Fulfillment is measurable. Fulfillment is achievable. Fulfillment is actually something that you can quantify and qualify. And the thing is, it's so subjective, it's so personal, which is why it matters even more. Because real fulfillment is me as a human being. I know who I am, I know what I want, and I am headed into that direction. Me, based on my values, my beliefs, my aspirations, and what actually fucking matters to me. To me, not the bullshit narratives that society wants us to believe, even though we see all over the news and all over social media all of these people who seem to have it all, who end up completing suicide or who are addicted to drugs and other substances, who are in and out of rehab facilities because they can't get their shit together, because they were spoon fed this narrative that they didn't buy into, but then they got forced into, and now they're miserable. So what do? What is fulfillment? How do you actually become a fulfilled human being? That's what I'm going to dive into next. And this video is a really good supplement, but And it's going to be super valuable. So I'm going to actually, this is a video I'm going to send to all of my clients, as I usually send these videos to my clients because I want them to watch this, because it's a good supplement to the work that we're doing. And if this is something that you want a more hands-on experience doing, send me a DM. Let's jump on a free call. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. If you'd like to work together, I would love that. I am accepting new clients. Um, but this video is not the end all be all. This video is a good start. Okay. So just keep that in mind as we're going through this. So, number one, so the PERMA, PERMA, it's an acronym, it's 5 things. There's a couple of other things. I'm also going to add that to the end, but let's just focus on this big 5 first. Okay. Number one, P, positive emotions. Now you're probably thinking, Bianca, you literally just went on a fucking tangent saying you shouldn't be focusing on happiness. Positive emotions and happiness are 2 different things. Happiness is an example of a positive emotion, but happiness is not the end all be all when it comes to positive emotions. You have to feel good, right? Positive emotions is not hyper fixating on always feeling good, though, but it's understanding that I have the tools within me to make myself feel good if and when I need to. So, positive emotion, in my understanding of it, and I'm not just going to go based on the book, I'm also going to go on my understanding of it because I've done this work with so many clients. I've done over 6,000 therapy sessions, and these are the things that I've learned from my therapy sessions as well. So I'm going to combine what the book says and my own personal experience as a clinician and also as a human being who has tried doing this shit for myself too. Because I was a miserable human being back in the day. And I am the most fulfilled, confident, happy, sometimes human that I've ever been because of everything that I'm diving into. So, positive emotion is not just I feel good all the time. You do have to feel good, right? You have to feel um, joy and excitement and the positive, higher valence emotions. But it also matters how you feel them and what contributes to that. And it also matters the way you experience emotions in general. So, my understanding and my notion, I guess, of positive emotion is number one, you understand what your emotions are. Number two, you don't freak out when you have negative emotions because you have the understanding that all emotions matter and they all are a signal and a message trying to tell me something. So you don't freak out when you have these emotions, the negative ones that we don't like. We understand what function they serve, what purpose they have, what they're trying to tell us, and then we can move into the direction of more adaptive, more feel good emotions. Sadness is not maladaptive. Sadness is not bad. Sadness is a signal, just like happiness is a signal, just like fear is a signal, just as excitement, horniness, hunger, thirst, whatever. They're all signals. It's telling us, hey, something needs to happen here. I need you to do something. So, positive emotion is, in my understanding of it, it's emotional intelligence. I know what I feel. I know why I feel it. I know what I need, and I can find a way to get that need met. Which, again, easier said than done. That's why working with a therapist is so important because a therapist is actually going to be able to help you to figure out what that actually looks like for you. But start with a daily practice. So I'm going to add little tangibles in with this and not save it for the end. I'm going to add them along with the description. So positive emotion is emotional intelligence. One thing that you can start doing is start getting into the habit of labeling and identifying your emotions. What do I feel? Pull out the feelings wheel, go to feelingswheel.com. There's like 100 emotions on there. There's way more than that, but the feelings wheel kind of dives into like the big 5, or I think there's 6. Yeah, 6. There's the big 6 emotions in the middle, and then there's external ones on the outside, and then even more on the outside of that on the periphery. And it dives into basically what like all of these different emotion labels are, because the more specific you can get, the more you can deeply understand yourself. So start jotting down a couple of times a day, or take a minute to reflect a couple of times a day. What do I feel? What am I feeling? And do I know right off the bat what this is telling me, or do I need to process it a little bit? So, number one, positive emotions. And the step for that is starting with emotion identification. What do I feel? I know we don't like our feelings, but we're humans and we have a brain, which means we have feelings and we kind of got to get over it. Learn how to understand them. Because if you're not afraid of them, you won't run away from them. And then you'll be able to actually get the lessons that they are trying to tell you. So, number one, positive emotion. Number two is engagement. This means you're actually doing shit. Most of us do things, but they're not actually things that give us that real sense of forward motion or forward movement. So, engagement means you are participating in activities that really matter to you. We think that going on a vacation or going shopping or doing fucking red light therapy, which I see so many people doing, and yes, it's great, but like all of these external tools that people are looking for, thinking it's making forward momentum in their life, it's not actually doing anything because you're not actually changing anything in your life. You're so fixated on these external appearances or these external circumstances, but you're not actually doing any of the inner work that engagement is involved in, that's actually going to make your life be more fulfilling or more meaningful or more happy. You're not doing the things that actually matter. You're doing things that on the outside and on the external, yeah, they look good. And yeah, it might help your skin or whatever. Just using that as an example. But those things aren't moving you in a forward motion towards somewhere. It's like stepping on a treadmill expecting that that is going to get you from here to across the street where you want to go. It's like, yeah, you're moving, but you're moving while standing in place. Engagement is movement towards something. So, something that's deeply meaningful for me and something that I engage in, that I adore, that actually feels like I'm doing something purposeful is going to the gym. I love the gym. I am such a gym rat. I am an athlete by nature. I always have been, and I always will be. There's forward momentum in that. I'm going to the gym, I'm generating positive emotions by moving my body. I set goals, I work towards achieving them. There's a lot of engagement and meaning and purpose in the thing that I'm doing. And a lot of people think that engagement is, well, I have a job. It's like, yeah, but you hate your freaking job and you don't find any sense of enjoyment out of it. So, yeah, you're doing stuff, you cleaned your house, cool, but that's not actually building any sense of significance. Participate in activities that are significant for you, that matter to you. Volunteering, doing stuff with your family, if that actually is deeply meaningful for you. Getting a hobby, going to the gym, get a pet if you're financially and emotionally capable of handling it, and train the pet. One of the things that was so meaningful for me that was really engaging was training my dog. I didn't get an external trainer. I did all of the work. I learned how to train him and then I trained him. And he's one of the best trained dogs in the entire community that I live in. And everyone has told me that. Deeply meaningful. It was engaging. It forced me to have to do shit that actually built towards something. So, what's one thing that you can start engaging in that's deeply meaningful for you? Is there a certain hobby or activity that you've been wanting to do that you haven't let yourself do yet? Is there a place that you want to start going to? Is there a painting class, a yoga class, whatever? What's one thing that you can start doing today? Doesn't have to be every day, a couple times a week, once a week, whatever, that is going to move you towards something. And this ties into the M, but I'm going to go to the next one, which is R. I'm not flipping you off. It's just the next finger. Relationships. Now, again, you don't want to go to the extreme that I was on, where it's like my life is only okay if I have relationships and if someone loves me, but deeply meaningful relationships, whether it's a relationship with a pet, whether it's a relationship with friends, whether it's family, whether it's a community that really matters to you, whether it's relationships at your job, whatever. Cultivating deeply meaningful relationships. Now, most of us isolate the shit out of ourselves, and we're so uncomfortable actually going out into the world that we don't allow ourselves to engage in relationships. We're on our phone on TikTok and Instagram, believing that that supplements human connection, and it doesn't. We need other people. Not to the degree that we think we need other people, right? You're not looking for someone to save you. You are looking for someone to add to your life, to complement the life you already have, because you on your own accord are able to generate positive emotions and you are deeply engaged in shit that actually matters to you. The relationships are complementary to that. I have people in my life that I care about and that care about me. Not because I need them, but because I choose them and because I want them. And I actually did another video on that. So if you want to go look at that video after this, I would recommend you do so. Stop looking for people to save you. People are there to complement your life, not to supplement your life. I'm saying this shit to myself because that was a huge lesson that I had to learn. So, who are some people? Who's one person? Let's start there. Whether it's your pet that you can start engaging in more meaningful activities with, is there a person that you know? Is there a group that you might want to join that's going to allow you to feel engaged in something, that's going to help you to feel connected to other people and to feel like you matter and that people care about you and that you care about other people, to get all of those positive feel good chemicals in our body. The fourth one is meaning. Most of us have no meaning in our life. And this is one of the biggest things that clients come to me and they'll say, they're like, my life literally doesn't have any meaning to it. I'm doing all of these things I can't stand. I don't give a shit about anything that I'm doing. Having a deeply fulfilling, happy, amazing quality of life, it means you have to do things that actually matter to you. So, one of the things that actually matters to me is the one on one work that I do. So, I thankfully have been able to bring meaning through my career. And that's not the case for everybody, but that was the case for me. Doing one on one work is so meaningful for me. Doing these videos is so meaningful for me because I feel like I'm giving something to the world. I feel like I matter. I feel like my voice is being heard. I feel like I get to help people. That matters so much to me because one of my deepest pains or one of my biggest core wounds growing up was feeling like nobody gave a shit about me, feeling like I wasn't capable of anything, having substantial and severe emotional dysregulation because of mental health challenges that I was experiencing that nobody knew how to help me with. And so I finally found things and cultivated things that were deeply meaningful for me, and it made the greatest difference in my life. The way you can start to understand what this is for you is start identifying, what do you like? What are hobbies and interests and passions that you enjoy? And how can they be meaningful to you? And it doesn't have to be some grandiose thing. Spending time with my dog is meaningful for me, but it's because I'm intentional with it. So, what is something that lights you up? What is something that makes your life feel worth it? Because most of us are living lives that we don't give a shit about. So, what is one thing that you can start doing that is actually meaningful for you? Maybe it's spending more time with your kids. Maybe it's going on a hike once a week. Maybe it's taking a solo trip for yourself and learning how to self-explore, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. What is something that really is meaningful for you that you can start engaging in on a more regular basis? And then the last one is accomplishment or achievement. I don't know why we are so afraid of achievement. We've like villainized it. We've villainized people who are successful. And a part of me understands it because we have these narratives of like these ultra successful people and that they're ruining the world and whatever. But on a more practical level, our life feels so fulfilling and deeply purposeful when we are working towards something. And it actually is the way that our brain was optimized. Our brain was literally built through evolution to achieve things. It's in pursuit of meaningful activities for the sake of doing it. Now, this is where meaning and all of these other things really tie into this. So, for the gym, like for example, that's something huge for me. I get such a sense of accomplishment through the gym because I tell myself I'm going to go do it. I go do the activity. I feel really good. I'm making progress towards something that matters. Most of us aren't engaging in any activities that are actually purposeful. It's like I wake up, I go to work that I can't fucking stand. I come home, maybe I'll walk on the treadmill, but I don't give a shit because I'm only doing it because I feel terrible about myself. And then I go to sleep and I repeat the cycle. And then I go party on the weekend. Like, what a miserable freaking life. And I know because I did it. So I'm not talking shit. I'm saying this from a personal experience. You have to do things that are actually building a sense of accomplishment because self belief is so important for a deeply meaningful and fulfilling life. And the way that you build self belief and real confidence is through accomplishing things. So you start small. What are a few activities that I can engage in this week that are going to give me any sense of accomplishment? Maybe it's cleaning your freaking car. Like my car, for example, my dog Aries, his fur sheds like you would never freaking believe. And it's driving me nuts that his fur is sucked into my car and I need to go clean it. And that's going to be a massive sense of accomplishment for me. When I finish this video in a minute, I'm going to feel so good because that is accomplishment. That is something meaningful that I engaged in that produced positive emotions. I'm building relationships. I'm engaging in something that matters. And this is deeply meaningful for me. And so I'm going to feel so accomplished in a minute or so when this video is done because I did something that deeply matters. I'm accomplishing things. I'm achieving things based on my values. So, what is something that you can do that's going to give you a sense of accomplishment? Maybe it's going for a walk once a day. Maybe it's starting to drink more water. Maybe it's joining a group. Maybe it's DMing me to do therapy together. I would freaking love that. What are small things that you can do that are going to make you feel like, oh, yeah, I can do stuff? If you follow these 5 steps: positive emotion, engagement, relationships, meaning, and accomplishment, I promise you, because it worked for me and it worked for all of my clients, you will have a magnificent and abundant life. And it doesn't have to start in these massive ways. You can start really small. What I want all of you to do is once you do it, drop a comment down below on what you did and how you felt afterwards. And like I said, I referenced a couple of other videos in here that you can go watch after this that will kind of help you dive into that a little bit more. But I hope this video was helpful. Follow these steps. It will give you a magnificent life. And I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.